In the race for the White House, the polls are tightening despite a major shakeup in the Trump campaign. Trump hired 2 new members to his campaign, but lost his outspoken chairman, Paul Manafort, amid growing speculation of his ties to Ukrainian politics. The newest polls in the race have Trump gaining ground on Hillary Clinton, with Clinton now just up about 4 points. But Clinton may have bigger things to worry about. A federal judge has ordered Clinton to answer questions from a conservative watchdog group about her email scandal. Meantime, controversy continues as Donald Trump makes a plea to African Americans to get their vote, saying, quote, "What do you have to lose?" Clinton fired back on Twitter, saying, quote, "This is so ignorant, it's staggering." The race for the White House is our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Fox26 for life. Joining us live in the newsroom, our panel led by our senior legal analyst, Chris Tridico, Democratic media consultant, Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. A lot to get to once again from the week in politics.
A lot to get to in 5.5 minutes. I don't know. We're not going to get through all of it. I posted yesterday, this is the craziest election ever, and it is absolutely I'm just going to go right into it.
It keeps getting crazier.
Keeps getting crazier. Paul Manafort is out after this release of information about this a bunch of money coming from Ukraine secretly into him through the United States. Donald Trump had no choice but to get rid of him. I mean, that was as bad as it gets.
Hey, I think that was a very good move on his part. He brought in a seasoned person in Kelly. She represents him well. She's doing a great job. I've seen her interview several times. I think the Democrats should be more worried about the fact that Hillary Clinton, through the Clinton Foundation, has taken lots of money from people overseas who are tied to terrorism and have horrible human rights records, and a lot of those companies have had favorable requests granted from the State Department while she was Secretary of State. So there's a lot of stuff brewing, and we're going to see a lot of stuff coming from WikiLeaks. The controversy that Sally alluded to was with the blacks, and when you come back to me, I'll address that.
So that was the next topic I was going to bring up. Donald Trump reaching out to Hispanics and blacks. Yesterday he said, after reaching out to blacks, what the blank do you have to, I don't remember exactly how he put it. And Hillary Clinton said that's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah. I think the phrase, there's more colorful variation, but what he basically says, what do you got to lose?
What do you got to lose?
Vote for me. What do you got to lose? Vote for me. And so I would just want to add a piece to that. What do you got to lose? Give me the nuclear launch codes. Right? I mean, just think about that. Here's a guy who's so thin-skinned that somebody, tweets about him. He loses his cool, and he says, "What do you got to lose? Give me the launch codes."
But his point, let's get directed though. His point was that the African American community has not risen in all these years. His point is, what do you have to lose by switching gears now?
Well, look, I was on national television talking about this with a congressman from Michigan, and he said the exact same thing. And look, Flint, Michigan was the Republican governor that caused that water issue, and then it was the Democrats that pulled out the auto industry. So I don't think there's comparison.
So according to the U.S. Bureau of Statistics, while Obama has been president, blacks have had an increase of 58.2% on food stamps. 58.2% increase. They've gone down as far as their wages. They've gone up in poverty, and the U.S. Bureau of Statistics continue to show statistic after statistic where blacks are worse off during the last 8 years than they've ever been.
And at that same time, though,
so when he says, what do you have to lose, Obama's own U.S. Bureau of Statistics have statistics to show that blacks have not been better or fared better in the last 8 years.
I want to go to Sally, but we also have to acknowledge that the Republicans have held Congress 6 of those 8 years. Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring on our social media.
All right, let's check in with loyal viewer Ben. Ben is up. Good morning, Ben. Ben says hopefully Donald Trump can do a better job of hitting the reset button with his campaign than Hillary Rodham Clinton did with Russia. And then Joe says, for all the reasons you can be disqualified from being president, criminal behavior isn't one of them. Now, if she is found to have broken, certain federal laws, you could be disqualified, right, Chris?
We have to be convicted.
Right, convicted, of course.
And that's not going to happen in the next 3 months.
Exactly.
So, no, I just don't see that happening. And this election is going to happen. Congress is not going to have time to start any investigation. So we need to move on past those issues, I think, and get on to to the substance of the race, don't we?
Yes, we do. And look, like it or not, Donald Trump is a nominee for the Republican Party. Like it or not, Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee, and one of them will be the President of the United States. And what we have to decide is, as a nation, who is that person, and do they have the temperament to lead us?
We got less than 30 seconds.
One of the leaders from the Black Lives Matter came out this week, and quite a few other leaders concurred. They said Bill Clinton did absolutely nothing for black people during his presidency, and he says Hillary Clinton will do absolutely nothing for blacks during her presidency. And he said that they have been using blacks as props for photo ops and trying to woo the black population. If Democratic leaders think that blacks are going to come out in droves like they did for Obama to vote for Hillary, they are sadly mistaken.
Well, but Donald Trump is polling at 1% among African Americans.
But the point is, black people are not going to come out the way they did. Some are going to sit back. Hillary Clinton is not Obama.
Right. We got to leave it right there. We'll be back next week, wrapping up the hottest stories of the week.
Wish we had more time. All right, thanks, guys. We appreciate it.